If you're buying property and you're married and you're not including your spouse on the application, there's only 3 scenarios you need to think about where you might need to include your spouse. Number 1 is when you're married in community of property. You registered your marriage at Home Affairs without an antenuptial contract, then you're married in community of property. When you're married in community of property, your assets and your liabilities are joined and your estate is joined, which means that your spouse must now be included on the offer to purchase and on the bond application. The second option is when you've had a customary or traditional marriage. Now, traditional marriages are treated exactly the same way as a civil marriage or civil union. So you can either be married in community of property or out. And you'll only be married out if you've drawn up an antenuptial contract that was signed before the date of marriage and registered within 3 months after the marriage. In this scenario, you'll also have to add your spouse to the application. And the third scenario that we need to be aware of is foreign marriages. Now, this is different depending on the bank that you're applying for the home loan at. When it comes to Investec, FNB and SA Home Loans, they view a foreign marriage as in community of property, and you will always need to add your spouse. If you're applying for a home loan at Nedbank, Standard Bank or ABSA, they view this as out of community of property. However, your spouse will have to assist, which means they need to give their consent. They'll need to sign their consent on the offer to purchase and on the bond application, but they won't be an applicant themselves. So if you're married and buying property on your own, these are just the 3 scenarios you need to be aware of where you may have to include your spouse.